Alright guys, so in this video we're going to go into the service reminder email and show you what options we have in there and what that email is all about. So I'm going to switch over to my screen here to where you can see service intelligence. So when you're in service intelligence, you're going to come down here and you should see this bar that says service reminders. It's you might need to drag it open to see it all, depending on what you got going on there on your screen size. Now, what this email is essentially a report card for your customer's vehicle maintenance. What we're doing is we are showing the 8 services, 8 different services. It changes based on the algorithm within the system, based on what is due and what is not due. And so some vehicles will see some services that other ones won't based on that algorithm. But here you can see we've got quite a few services here that have been performed before and they're due again. Basically the blue bar tells us we've done it before. The red tip is telling us that it's due again. As where the black bar, there's no history, and it should be due based on its mileage or time and how long this customer has been a customer of yours. And so what this does is it goes out to your customers every 3 months since the last closed invoice date. So if I was your customer and you closed an invoice with me, I would get this email 3 months later, 6 months, 9 months, and then at 12 months. After that last touch at 12 months, you're considered a lost customer, so we don't keep up with the automated touches. This list here are all the customers that should be getting this email today. You can see we have a 6-month group, and we're not showing you the other groups. This is a little bit of an older database, so that's why I don't have the 3-month group most likely. But the 9 and 12-month groups are not in here either today, and that is most likely because 9 months or 12 months ago today, the date was a Sunday and the shop was closed, and therefore we don't have anyone in here. If you come in tomorrow, this will be an all new list of customers, and you will most likely see the 9 and 12-month groups in there. Now, you can add a filter to this if you want. Most of our shops do not, but you could require a minimum amount of service visits. You could set this from 2 and you can go to 99 if you'd like. You could set a filter to say, look, I don't want to send this to any of my fleets that have 6 vehicles or more. So you may check that off and do 0 to 5 to exclude people with 6 vehicles or more. And again, you can change those numbers to whatever you want. And then there's a month's elapsed since last visit. You may want to filter through that as well. I'm not sure why you'd want to in this email, but you can. And then we also have some vehicle-specific filters if you like. Again, with the service reminders, we usually don't mess with these filters. We don't add anything extra, but they are there if you do want to. So now that we've established the target, who is this going to? This is going to customers away from your shop, 3, 6, 9, and 12 months away. We are going to go to the offer. What are we going to offer them? And in this case, we've got a variable offer in place, and you can adjust this to your liking. And what you can do is you can set this to say, yes, I will give a $10 coupon offer on someone who spends a minimum of $100. And the second group, which would be people away from your shop 6 months or longer, you may give $20 off of someone who would spend $150. I'm just throwing some numbers out there. Do what you think is right. Third month group could be $50 off of $300. And then the fourth group, which is 12 months, is $50 again, but maybe you lower the threshold. And so you can see if those are all set, you click on an email, you can see here a $50 off 225 or more. If I go to the 9 group, it's still $50, but it's 300 or more. So basically you can sweeten the pot the longer the customer is away to get them in the door. Something to consider. And the other way is to do a fixed offer, which means it doesn't matter how long they're away from your shop, you're going to send the same coupon or the same message. Maybe you don't want to do a coupon. Maybe you just want to put a message in here of some sort. You can go ahead and switch that up. and do whatever you want. So you can type in here $50 off, and it changes it here. It adds it over the image as well, little coupon image. So you can see where these text lines replace what's over that image. So you can type whatever you want in there, and it changes it right there. All right, so now the last piece we got here for customization is this image, and you can select the images, select the coupon image. You can see there's the image we have. I prefer to think that most of our customers do not know what the underside of a hood looks like, let alone a dipstick, right? So we can change this up. This actually is much more readable on top of it, which is nice. And that is what the email looks like. Now you can see here, there is a map here that should go to your location. If you click on that, it goes right to Google's Maps, right to the directions part of their site. So it's very convenient, as well as there's this request an appointment option. Now, when you open this in a new window, it should open up here. Let's just give it a second for it to load. It opens up to one of our web forms. And in that web form, it's very convenient because we can track the times. So you can see your customers can pick a date, they can pick a time, they can have 3 options of dates, they can pick the service they're looking for. Now, here's a very convenient part of this is that because it's clicked from an email from your customer, when we send the email, we know who it's going to. And so our system pre-populates their first name, last name, phone number, and email for them, making this form nice and easy to fill out. Same thing with the year, make, and model. It's already populated. All they got to do is pick their time and service and request an appointment, and it gets added to our system. Now, you can change up this button. There is a setting here. Right here for the appointment request. This is using our system. You can uncheck this, and you can paste in a URL to your website page. If you have a specific page for the request an appointment, you can put that URL in there and then apply and OK, and it will then direct that button. When it's clicked, it will direct it to that web page on your website. It's very nice because that now incorporates your branding into the form, which is great. Now we do have a widget form that can be embedded into one of your web pages. And so it gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you your branding, your website to bring them to, which is fantastic, but then uses our form where, again, we can capture the contact information from them automatically. Plus, we can track every time the web form is filled out. And so we know exactly how effective the emails are being with that. So once you've got this all dialed in the way you want, everything's working, we've got the delivery tab here. You can send this as email only, or if you're subscribed to postcards, there'll be an option for postcards here. And I'll explain what those are. You have the option for email or postcard, which means if you have an email, it will send it. If you don't have an email, it'll send the postcard. So that's the most efficient way, cost-effective way to send postcards. Then we also have the email and postcard option, which is way more effective in getting your ROI. And that basically is if we have an email, send the email as well as send the postcard to everyone. That's going to get you the best bang for your buck. Postcards are actually becoming more and more effective these days, strictly because our email inboxes are getting inundated with stuff. You send an email to your customer, it could get buried after a while. A postcard, there's not so much going out there, so postcards are getting more effective in that way. So once you are ready to turn these on, you will click Start Auto, and you will say yes. And then it's got a date on here for you. And what's actually really good about this is if you're a new shop and you have not used us before, you can actually tell the system to say, go back in the last, say, 2 months. I would never go further than 2 months. and send this to everyone who should have gotten it the last 2 months. And what that's going to do is kind of launch this with a bit of beef, right? It's going to send out a couple hundred emails today and get this out to your client base, which is going to be very effective. So then you just hit OK when you are ready for that. And that will start sending that out. You can start from today's date. That's fine. So this list of customers here, as I said before, this is who is supposed to get this today. If you come in tomorrow and you click on service reminders, this will be a new list of people. So you'll be able to see that depending on your monthly car count, we could be trickling this out to, a half a dozen to 2 dozen customers a day could be getting this email. So that is how you set up and turn on the service reminder emails. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to us at support@eautoclub.com.